What's happening, Achievers? Captain America here, and it's another beautiful day, as always. Now today, what I want to talk about is entering a different world. A world that exists in our realm, in our universe, but we just blinded by it. Sometimes we just miss it completely. And that world is the children's world. And the entrance to that world that we have around us is 1.5 meters downwards. What we have to do is get down. Once we get down, we enter a new world. And the reason why I say that is because today we celebrated in our nursery, our Christmas party. Santa himself came to visit, and it was absolutely awesome. And I could see the children's faces when they saw Santa and how they entered into a world that adults used to be there, but they don't visit there that often anymore. And this is something that we really need to go back. We need to go back into that world. It's just like the movie The Hook. Hook, when Peter leaves Neverland and he grows up and he has children, and then Hook comes along and takes his children. Tinkerbell comes and says, you gotta remember who you are, and takes him back, and they throw him around. So he remembers who he is, and then finally he remembers through imagination. And when he does start remembering, and he starts imagining, and he remembers a time that was so precious, the true happy thought. And once he had that true happy thought, then he was able to fly. So he had his imagination. If you've seen the movie, and I've spoken about this previously, he goes into that world through imagination, where he starts seeing things it's always been there, but he's been blinded by it. And then he gets his true happy thought. And once those two are connected, then he turns into the Peter Pan. And this is something we have to remember, because we have to remember that now is the most important time. Now is the most important time that we actually remember that world that we used to visit, the world that we've forgotten. And that's the children's world. We need to go back. Now that it's Christmas time, this is a great time to remember. Use imagination, have fun. Because imagination is a word that we've kind of covered up. The secret door. There's a secret door there, and we've covered it up with the word imagination. And then with that imagination word, society has said, imagination, you should not imagine. You should be using your logic. Everything is logical. What you do need to do is... excuse me, think logically and be proper. No. That word, imagination, once it's uncovered, reveals the secret door that all children live, the secret door that children play through. This is the world that we need to go back into, especially Christmas time. Guys, we have to. When we go to Disney World, we go into an imagination world. We use that door, that secret door that exists, and we become a child once again. We start racing against other people. We start having fun. We got smiles on our faces, and yeah, we have little certain emotions when we have a little tantrums that go with Disney. But we start having fun, and once we start having fun, we meet the children in their world, and this is where we have to go every single day. And the secret to actually getting into their world, and I've said it right at the beginning, is 1.5 meters downwards. We're here, right here. All we need to do is go down. I discovered this secret because I grew up very, very fast. I believe my sisters used to say at the age of 9, I was a grandpa. I grew up very fast. I left that world very fast. But for some reason, I always enjoyed going to Toys R Us. I used to love just going to Toys R Us and just seeing the toys and going into an imagination world. And when I used to look at the toys, I used to imagine what games they could play with it. Unfortunately, it's shut down now. But I still, to this day with my children, love going to toy shops because it builds that imagination world. And through the process of growing up so fast, I became what society wanted me to become. I went down a route where I was an adult. Yep, an adult. But when I had my own children, 7 years ago, I was privileged with being given a key to enter back into that world. And now I know the secret. I can visit that world at any time I want. All I need to do is get on my knees. And once I'm down on my knees, I can't walk as fast. I can't run. I can't do much. I have to slow down. And once I've slowed down, I can start seeing the world that I'm missing through the rat race of every day. And once I've entered that world, that's where happiness and fun is. And that's what Santa brought today. And all the elves, everyone that works in Banana Moon were dressed up as elves, and they were bringing so much happiness and joy to all the children, and the children running around and giving their teachers a hug. And it was just the most beautiful thing, because we were using that key that goes into the imagination world. And if anyone's seen the movie Trolls, everyone knows in that movie, they've hit on a part which one world is the Bergens that eat the trolls, but they're so gloom and doom and walking and almost in a rat race, but just like in a mundane, and they've got no happiness. But that's the definition of the adult world. And then you got the trolls that are always singing and playing and having fun and throwing their hair around. I wish I had hair, but throwing their hair around. And that's children. And the only way the trolls were able to the Bergens were able to get their happiness was when they start using the imagination and start having fun and started singing and started dancing. And that's where that movie brings it home. Adult world, children world, bring it together. The Bergens have to get into the troll world to get their happiness. And there's one final movie that this was a challenge that I gave to all the teachers, saying there's 3 movies they have to watch. Hook, which I've spoken about. Trolls, which I've spoken about. But the other one is The Rise of the Guardians. And that movie, if anyone has watched it, but if you haven't watched it, you should watch it because it's absolutely awesome. One of my all-time Christmas favorite movies. It's about Jack Frost, and he's trying to discover how he's become Jack Frost and why is he so mischievous. And when the world stops believing in the Guardians, there's one child that remembers. The one child that remembers the imagination world. And it just takes one child to bring all the people back, all the Guardians back. And that's because of Jack Frost, because Jack Frost knew how to play. His core was all about play. That's the key here. This is what the imagination world brings. It's play. This is what Christmas isn't about this, but Christmas time is a great time to remember the imagination world and to go back to what we used to be. Even if you don't have children, it's time to play. Something to think about, something I will talk about on a later date in more depth, because there's so much secret that goes, there's so many secrets and sequences that goes into entering the children's world and how we can actually have fun. Like I said, even if you haven't got children, you can have fun. You see those people. I call it the Santa Claus effect, the Claus effect, because Santa knows exactly how to communicate with children. He knows to get down to the level. He knows to slow his voice down. He knows to quieten. Not scream and start speeding up. Slow it down. And all these things I will talk about on a later date, but these are all the secrets of Santa Claus, and it's the secret of childcare, and it's the secret of entering the imagination world and having fun. But if you do want to get into the Christmas spirit, watch those 3 movies. They're awesome. Add value to people's lives. Have fun and enjoy life. And remember, we're just one idea away from changing the future. Take care, guys. Love you. Bye.